Bulletcast for life.
She say, do you love me? I tell her only partly. I only love my bed and my mom. I'm sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is what I had to tell Mandy Rose after our little rendezvous the other night. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to give you another eargasm. The Podfather has returned. I'm no longer the Bulletcast champion, but I am Bulletcast Mr. Money in the Bank. And this, as you can tell by the name of this podcast, you already know what we're doing. Somebody wants to challenge me again with this whole New Japan talk. How it's number one right now. It's better than WWE. How they're gonna put Vince McMahon out of business. And like, I'm tired of these jabronis. Keep challenging me, all right? He's gonna challenge me. He's on this Meltzer 7-star hype. All right, I'm not a pussy, man. I don't use stars. I use letters. I'm a real man. I'll say it to Meltzer's face at the Cow Palace. What's going on? Philip Antoine here, and I got Ulises. You may have seen him on the independent wrestling episode we did in the studio about it was a while back.
Yeah, it was a while back.
Anthony Machado was on that podcast as well.
Yeah.
You know?
So it's great to be back. Thank you for having me, Philip.
Problem, man. The young boy who wants to get his ass kicked by Minoru Suzuki.
Yeah, I still want to get my ass kicked by Minoru Suzuki, but it's an honor.
Suzuki, he's not a beauty, you know. He's not. He's not up there.
No.
All right. So I mean, where do you want to start this off, man?
So me and Philip were actually talking about this.
Philip and I, let's correct our grammar.
I'm so sorry. See, I'm horrible with my grammar.
Podfather, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I know. The Podfather
Daddy's
and
home,
I.
goddammit.
The Podfather and I were just having a conversation about which company right now is better in terms of action, in terms of storytelling. And what I was just telling him that New Japan is farly superior than WWE. And here's some reasons why. The product that New Japan puts out every single show is top quality. From the young lions that come out, and they are given a chance. The young boys, yes. The ones that Minoru Suzuki beat up. They always come out and they always put a show because Geto, for those who don't know, Geto is the booker of New Japan Pro Wrestling. He always comes out and he tries to put these young lions out there in front of a crowd of about 2,500 people. Now, when they come out there, they're nervous. They have heartaches. They have butterflies in their stomachs. But what goes on is that they gain confidence once they perform in front of 2,500 people at the Corgan Hall.
I mean, I already have confidence to do that. I'm selling out Madison Square Garden. Let's go. You know, like what's going on? So,
but to your point, Philip, I believe that New Japan has a proven system that the developmental program NXT in WWE does not have.
WWE, gotta say it like Kurt Angle.
WWE. Philip, tell me one superstar that came from developmental system in WWE in the past year that has actually made it.
I thought you were about to say like OVW.
No, we're not talking about OVW. We're talking about NXT, the Performance Center. Name one legit superstar that was born, bred, trained by the people in the Performance Center that went on to great things.
I mean, we're talking great things right now. My boy, the Velveteen Dream, baby. I mean, Dream. He has the name of a Hall of Fame and all, baby. All right. So I mean, I look at it like this: Dream, the character, it works. The people down at NXT, they get it. They understand. They know what's up. All right, my guy. And I look at it like this: Velveteen Dream. Cena said it himself. He's gonna be one of the next big guys in the company in the future. But if you want to talk main roster, everybody loves Braun Strowman.
That's something. I'm sorry to cut you off, Philip, but that's something I do not understand. Why do people like Braun Strowman? It's their prerogative. Everybody.
We're talking like some Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
It's my prerogative.
No, exactly. But it's everybody's choice who they could go for, and I don't see I don't see the specialness of Braun Strowman, but it's all to people's perspective. But other than the Velveteen Dream and Braun Strowman, anybody else from the main roster?
I mean,
that came from developmental. Trained by Billy Gunn, Lita, all the people over there.
You said in the last year?
In the last year.
Oh, I mean, a lot of those guys, they were like, who were on the main roster, they were in the FCW training camp, I mean, if you want to talk about a purebred from FCW, Roman Reigns.
Okay.
And, I mean, I guess he's the most controversial guy in the company right now.
Okay. But do you think he's a superstar? Involving ticket sales, involving T-shirt sales?
If you weren't a wrestling fan, if you were not a wrestling fan, and you saw that guy in the airport, what would you think about him?
I'd say that he's handsome. Because that's no lie, right?
He's handsome.
Yeah. Other than that, I'd be like, who's this guy?
I mean, all right, I'm gonna ask the ladies who are here with us. If you saw this guy walking down the street, would you think he's a star? Just look at him. Just look at him. Look at that big dog.
Yes.
You see, the ladies are agreeing,
Okay.
Like, if I saw Roman Reigns, well, I'm like, man, is he a football player? What kind of athlete is this guy? I mean, like, Roman, like, when I go to a show and I'm in the arena for the reaction, I don't react, I don't cheer, I don't boo, I just listen. The reaction is somewhat different every single time, There are cheers because the children love him, the women love him.
Yeah, I can see that.
And the smart marks, they're going to boo him because they don't like him. Like, it's not Roman's fault that he was booked this way. If you want to have a true reaction, you want to change the way things are done with Roman, don't react at all. All right? Just like what Bobby Lashley gets, people barely just give Roman. But, Roman, he's going to get a reaction whether or not,
Okay.
Whatever. And, I mean, I've said it on this pod before. I like Roman. I think he's a very dynamic performer. And, like, the smart marks, they know what's up.
Yeah, and just to
you New Japan marks, you guys know what's up.
No, and just to continue on your point, if Roman Reigns went to New Japan Pro Wrestling, I think he'll do just fine. I think he has the capability of being a top star over there in New Japan. It's just that I don't like this idea that WWE, WWE, the World Wrestling Entertainment, as big as they are, and as much money they have, I don't feel like they have a quality product that many people like myself can enjoy week to week. Because you already have stuff like Raw, you have SmackDown, you have 205 Live, NXT.
And 205 Live has gotten extremely better.
Yes.
Hunter's taken over the reins.
Oh, I did not know that. So he's taking over 205.
Yeah, he's taking over 205 Live. They got Buddy Murphy, who is the Mr. Alexa Bliss. I wish I was in his spot. I'm not gonna lie.
I was about to say that. Yeah.
All right. There are children here, and I can't say the things I want to say.
Of course.
But so I mean, Buddy Murphy. If you want to talk about NXT, I don't know if he wrestled on the Indies. I don't know if he's just a product of the Performance Center. But the guy, he has charisma. He has a look. He's obviously not 205 Live. The dude looks like he's 225. But he has, Jesus, just interrupting my performance enhancing audio. God, I'm sorry, guys. I'm still going to give you an eargasm. Keep listening. All right. So, but like, I look at it like this. Buddy Murphy, he's going to be a star. If they never get Kenny Omega, they can make that guy into an Omega of sorts. But yeah, I mean, the whole week-to-week entertainment. I mean, WWE, we're not in the Attitude Era anymore. We're not Ruthless Aggression. There were some moments week to week in the PG era that were amazing, in the Reality Era. And now this new era that we live in. But like Raw, for the past couple weeks and months, it's not been good. Yeah. They'll have a segment or two that's really strong. SmackDown is just starting to pick up again to that spot that they were back in 2016 when the second brand split officially happened. Alright, so I look at it like this. WWE Monday Night Raw, like this past Monday, I'm going to talk about on the pod tomorrow. It was very good. It's gotten better. Raw's gotten better, And SmackDown, it's the land of opportunity, as they like to say. And somebody won on SmackDown. He's going to be getting an opportunity in a couple weeks for the WWE title against AJ Styles.
I was actually this close to spoiling it to everybody listening, but I know
he has his own day, ladies and gentlemen. That's all you need to know.
I was about to spoil it, but I know the Podfather was giving me a look. He's like, you better not spoil it, because I know he's going to do his podcast tomorrow. So tune into that. I don't need to plug it, but y'all listening, tune into that.
Yes, tune into it. It's going to be wonderful. Yes.
So I just want to go back to my point. New Japan with the Young Lions program.
They built
yes, the young boys. I call them. Some people call them young boys. Some people call them young lions. They build stars, and that's not an
I'm a
opinion.
star.
That's a
They
fact.
didn't build me.
Yes, I know you're a star, but let me get my points. You got people like your IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion Hiromu Takahashi. He trained over there in the New Japan Dojo, one of the what I've heard, one of the hardest dojos to ever get out of. Some people even quit only for after a couple classes.
Is it harder than the Hart Family Dungeon?
I don't know if it's harder than the Hart Family Dungeon, but what I heard, it's it's up there. It's one of the top tier wrestling training facilities in the world. Hiromu Takahashi came from over there. Shinsuke Nakamura came from over there. He trained. I've seen footage. He trained with Taguchi Rusuke over there in New Japan Pro Wrestling. You had people.
Finn Balor.
You had people like Finn Balor. You had people like Kazuchika Okada. You had the current.
Wait, what did you just say?
Kazuchika Okada? That's what I call him. I know people say Kazuchika Okada.
Yeah, I was about to say, wait, like, I'm not a New Japan market, even I knew that was wrong.
Yeah, no, okay, for all the people...
Kazuchika Okada.
I'm going to say Kazuchika Okada.
Some people say Kaz.
Yeah.
Kaz Okada.
Kaz Okada. It reminds me of Taz.
I know.
It just, so, Kazuchika Okada, you have all these people that the New Japan system creates stars, and that's proven fact. Stars that WWE brings, and not just people that go from the New Japan Dojo. You got people like Doc Gallows, Carl Anderson, as you aforementioned, Finn Balor. They went to WWE, became a star. AJ Styles. He left TNA back in 2014. I don't want to, belabor this point because I know everybody knows the story.
Some people may not know the story.
Okay, for those people...
For the casual fan listening, let's break it down for them.
Okay, so for those people who don't know the story, AJ Styles wanted...
No, you have to say it.
AJ Styles.
So,
he left TNA.
Yeah, he was the John Cena of that place.
He left TNA back in 2014. And I thought this guy would never be in WWE. I thought he was too small.
Same here.
I didn't
think he was too small. I just thought he'd never get there.
Yeah, I thought for the most, like if they had a cruiserweight division, they would put him there. But he went to New Japan Pro Wrestling for only 2 years and became the IWGP Heavyweight Champion twice and won the strap the first match he was there. And that signified that he was a born star. WWE
became leader of the Bullet Club.
He became leader of the Bullet Club after Finn left. He became a bona fide star, and when WWE went knocking, he went because WWE knew, hey, this guy's a star. And you know who cultivated him. TNA might have, it might have been his starting point, but New Japan cultivated him into the worldwide star we know him here and now.
Yeah, because if you want to talk about AJ real quick, he was in WCW in the dying days, and WWE offered him a contract. He said, no, I'm not ready. I'm not experienced enough. He went over to NWA, TNA Impact Wrestling, whatever you want to call them, and he became their Cena. Like, he became the face of that company, whether he was a champion over there or not. And they kind of did him dirty. They offered him less money than he felt he was worth. So he left, went over to Japan, and Finn's last night was AJ's first night, and he won who did he beat Okada for it?
He beat Okada for it.
Took it off Okada's second reign?
He took off in his second reign,
Yeah, so he beats Okada for it, and I look at it like this, like, when he first left TNA initially, WWE, they thought, oh, he's too old. He goes over to Japan.
He blows everybody
career
away.
Renaissance.
Yep.
Or not. I wouldn't say a career renaissance necessarily.
But
he wasn't in a slump.
Yeah.
But I look at it.
That revitalized his career.
Yes. It made WWE like, hey, this guy isn't too old. He's over here having matches with some of the best in the world. And that Wrestle Kingdom 10 match with Nakamura.
I know that holds a special place in your heart.
Oh my god, it has a great place in my heart. I'm the Podfather. I can take your chips, goddammit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Keep going. Keep going, brother.
We just got distracted with some Cheetos over here. But I just want to belabor the point that the new heavyweight champion right now, at this point, if you're listening to it, is the best bout machine. Mr. 7 Stars himself. I know Philip does not like me hearing that, because if you know Philip and you've heard this podcast, you know that his favorite match of all time is Undertaker Shawn Michaels WrestleMania 25.
Look, it's not my favorite match of all time. It is the greatest wrestling match of all time. For the duration of that match, two guys in their late 40s, past their prime, who have nothing left to prove on the biggest wrestling show of the year, left it all out there.
Yes.
And they weren't even the main event.
Yes. So
My little 13-year-old body got a wrestling high because these guys went out there and tore the effing house down in Houston, Texas.
And that's a match that you will always look at as the greatest. It doesn't matter what Dave Meltzer says with 7 stars, 6 stars.
I just said I don't listen to Meltzer.
Oh yes, forgive me.
That's a classic, man. I mean, look, I watch Okada Omega matches. I've watched them. I've seen them all. I'm not on the edge of my seat, man. Honestly, dude, I think I was more on the edge of my seat for Dream versus Ricochet than I was for any Okada Omega. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Because like the story was there in the 5th one. Can Kenny finally capture the strap?
And
finally win the big one in Japan?
And I know that you've said points to me that when Kenny he hit a couple V triggers in that match, that made you like, oh, that might have hurt. Which V
triggers don't hurt.
Yeah, they don't hurt at all. It's all
they don't hurt.
Yeah,
man, Shane McMahon's punches hurt more than V triggers. To be honest with you.
What Philip Antoine, the Podfather, feels about WrestleMania 25. It's what I feel about the Omega Okada feud. And people might say that, oh, you're just following the hype, you're just following what Meltzer says. To be honest,
are you one of those Meltzer sheep?
I think I am. Boo. I think I'm one of those Meltzer sheep. Yeah, so
oh, somebody pointed out because Ulises is wearing a Virgin Islands t-shirt that he may be a man who has never consented with a woman.
Thank you for sharing that on your podcast.
But I mean, he's the Hugh Hefner of the pod at the moment. Big dogging.
No, and so back to my point about Omega Okada. I know some people say, "Oh, you're just following the hype of what Dave Meltzer says." The first match I've ever seen of Omega Okada back in 2017, that Wrestle Kingdom, was arguably the match that shattered my expectation of what a match is. It had everything. It had spectacle. It had Kenny Omega almost killing Okada with the dragon suplex.
I mean, look, I say when professional wrestling is done right, when the story makes sense, when the match exceeds your expectations, when everything is done right from start to finish, it's absolute Shakespeare.
Yeah.
I've seen great matches like that. You know, like Taker and Michaels.
I thought you were going to say Tiger Mask W. Tiger Mask
No,
W, yeah.
No, I mean, even like Savage and Hogan, one of the greatest stories in wrestling ever told. Mm-hmm. You know, Savage was asking Hogan, "Why are you looking at my wife, bro? You want to catch these hands?" It was a great story, a year-long build.
Yeah.
But I mean, I look at it with the whole Okada Omega thing. It was a good story.
Yeah,
it was a good story.
But to add on to your point, when I first saw that Omega won the G1 against Hiroki Goto, a hard-fought match, I thought Geto was out of his mind because I didn't think Omega, as good as he was, he would, Wrestle Kingdom, biggest show of the year. I had low expectations of that match. I really did. I thought this match was gonna blow the building, is gonna turn off the building. But when I saw that match went 45 minutes, and I knew I was seeing something special because those two men, the future of professional.
45 minutes is nothing, bro.
What?
45 minutes is absolutely nothing.
You're telling me right now that you can wrestle
a match back in the 60s. They're going 90 minutes. Come on, my guy.
Okay. 45 minutes of the hardest wrestling you could ever imagine.
I've seen the match. I mean.
Okay.
It was like a Japanese death match or anything. It wasn't thrilling like that, you know.
Yeah, but for me, for me, it was the 4 greatest matches I've ever seen. Every time I think of a match, I think of those matches. And also, just a shout out to Katsuyori Shibata, Okada. Okada, Shibata holds a special place in my heart. I just want to throw that out there. But to me, Omega, Okada, even Steve Austin said on his podcast, when the second one, it was the greatest match. Yeah, the second one, he said that was the greatest match. Yes, that was the draw. It wasn't this Dominion. It was 2017 Dominion.
Yes,
he said that was the greatest match he's ever seen. Stone Cold Steve Austin, one of the greatest of all time.
Well,
he said that was the greatest match.
I probably had some Steve Wise. This wasn't the greatest damn match I've ever seen. Stop putting words in my damn mouth, stupid son. No, I'm joking.
Yeah. If you don't believe it, you can listen to the podcast when Steve Austin said that.
Yeah, but I mean, I listened to the episode. I heard Austin say it. I mean, but if we're talking match quality, okay.
You can tell this guy loves New Japan. He adores New Japan.
Okay. I mean, like, I'm not out here staying up till 5 a.m. trying to watch this stuff, you know.
You got me to do that because I've stayed up at 5, 6 a.m. just to watch a professional wrestling match.
I mean, wait an hour after it's over. It's on YouTube. It's on the tubes of you. You got it. I mean.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, what other points do you have now?
For me, New Japan's actually taking a step towards the future because they just have Omega as champion. He is the man that is bilingual. He's Canadian. He could speak English and Japanese. He could actually transcend what Japanese wrestling should be because you have people like Kenta Kobashi, you have people like Antonio Inoki that back in the day they're only in Japan. They're only stars in Japan. What New Japan want to do with Omega as champion, they want to bring New Japan not only in Japan but to the world now. They have a new president. He was I don't know his name.
Is he like the president of this country?
No, he's not. He's not like the president of this country.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does he have anything to do with the booking?
No, but he is the new president of New Japan Pro Wrestling. He was born in Holland, but he lived in Japan all his life.
I mean, if we're talking president of wrestling
oh
companies,
God, no,
President Jack Tunney, man. He was a man that had intensity, integrity, and intelligence. All the stuff Kurt Angle talks about.
Yes, I know.
And by the way, Japan was only good when Angle and Lesnar were there. All right.
Which, by the way, still in New Japan lore, because before every match, have you seen before every match they put all the former champions on there? Brock is actually on there.
Yes, he is.
Brock and AJ are on there,
Yes,
so
they are.
Always a pop for that.
Deserved, of course.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar's a beast. Why wouldn't he be on there?
Yeah. So the new president of New Japan says that he wants to make this a global company.
Okay.
He's already looking into places
They
around
finally
here.
came to the States.
Finally came to the States, established in 1972. They finally came to the States a couple years ago. I know the Podfather. Are you going to the show here in the Cow Palace?
I will be, and if Cody doesn't win, I will riot.
I know you would riot.
All right.
I know you would
Let's
riot.
know that right now.
I'm pulling for Omega for various reasons. I love Cody. I love the American Nightmare, but I'm just pulling for Omega.
Well,
the true leader of the Bullet Club in my eyes.
I mean, hold on. I'm about to hit a lot of points. First of all, the African American Nightmare is pulling for the American Nightmare. Second of all, they had a match. Winner becomes leader of the Bullet Club. Cody won.
I know, but for me, Omega will always be the leader of the Bullet Club.
If you're following being the elite, after Kenny wins the heavyweight title, Cody, he's walking down the ramp. They want him to celebrate with him, but Cody doesn't want to. He doesn't do it.
Yep.
And then on being the elite, he has champagne. He has a letter written how he's sorry for everything that's happened. And Cody was giving out weight belts to the guys, right? He had a black and red one that said "Cleaner" on the back, ready for Kenny. And he gets to Kenny's hotel room, but he just drops everything and walks away.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to see.
Do you think Cody's pride is getting the best of him? That he can't stand that Omega sharing the spotlight. Like Omega has the spotlight, I should say.
I don't know, because Cody. I mean, first of all, big ups to New Japan for getting Cody.
Mm-hmm.
For he left WWE and he increased his star power.
Yeah.
Like Cody is a draw.
I wouldn't be surprised if WWE comes knocking again and say
they came knocking at like after his first couple indie shows. They came knocking.
And did Cody turn it down?
Of course,
yeah.
He's in Japan, isn't
yeah.
he? Like,
no, I know. It's because I don't know the full story. So did he just tell him F off? Or
no, he didn't know because like he's not upset with WWE. Like even like he can't use his last name, which is his legal last name. His name has been Cody Rhodes since he was like 18 years old. But he's not going to start a lawsuit with the WWE or Vince because that's where he grew up. That's where he became a man. That's where his father worked. That's where he met his wife. So he's not doing all that.
He's not going to bury his former
employer. You know, and they've had talks. And Cody, he wants to kind of do his own thing.
Yeah.
And with the whole all-in thing going to that, Cody told the Bucks like, "Hey guys, I'm not gonna do this and then go to WWE. And like, I'm here to stay for quite some time.
Yeah.
I'm here to make this place better.
Yeah. And that's the thing I love about New Japan, because you see the guys that left like Juice Robinson. People who don't know, C.J. Parker was his name in NXT.
Yeah.
When did he
He was a
leave?
tree hugger. He was free loving.
Yeah.
Free spirited.
Yeah.
Echo, Go Green, all that stuff.
And then he left in 2015. Correct me if I'm wrong, Podfather.
Yeah, his last match was against Kevin Owens at that takeover.
And that was his last match.
Actually, no, it was 2014.
Yeah, 2014. Forgive me. But my timeline's a little bit off. But I do know for a fact that he went to New Japan. He went to the dojo. He started out as a young boy. He started out as young lion. He went forth. He worked hard. He busted his ass. And now he's challenging Jay White, Switchblade Jay White, for the IWGP US title at the Cow Palace show. It just shows you how can one company put his faith in one guy to make them a superstar. He's no longer the young boy. He's no longer that WWE guy. He is New Japan Pro Wrestling, a product of New Japan Pro Wrestling and their dedication they have with Juice Robinson. And now he's called the Flamboyant Juice Robinson, which I freaking love. He reminds me of what Shawn Michaels was. I know that's a very, very...
Actually, no. I saw, they were in Corgan Hall, some show recently. You were watching it.
Yeah.
And I saw his get up. I was like,
doesn't that remind like Shawn Michaels?
Shawn back in the 90s. Like,
with the hat, with the glasses, the tights.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, what is this?
Yeah,
this
and
is like Shawn Michaels 92, 93.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
Yeah, and the people love him, the fans love him, and he's turned into a tremendous,
I've seen his
great
stuff.
wrestler.
He got a win over Kenny in
the G1.
Yeah, I saw
year.
that match. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I started clapping. I was like, that's my boy.
See, he took what he learned from Hunter.
Yeah.
Went over to Japan.
Wait. Was it Hunter? I don't know if it was Hunter. I think the guys in New Japan, with all their experience, they helped him cultivate his moveset. They made him have confidence in himself. So I really like that.
Yeah.
Kudos to, if you're hearing this, Juice, kudos to you. I love you, my brother.
Oh yeah. All right, no, I mean, but like if we're talking about coming over to America and doing something, like Cody, going back to Cody, what he did for Ring of Honor, their business, their stock increased like 26%. That's huge for them, or 29. That's huge for them. New Japan, it's good they have him. All right, because Cody, I don't know what else he has left to do in New Japan. Like he could win their title.
Yeah,
he could win their title. Because Kenny, I know he has to face Kota. He has to face him for that championship. Yeah, that's like the end for him. That's where I see him dipping out.
Yeah, and that's a point that I want to elaborate on. I'm actually nervous if Kenny Omega goes to WWE. I don't want to see another superstar from New Japan to make the transition to WWE. That's something I don't want, because I feel like what he said in Sports Illustrated, that he wants to be the legend that never went to WWE.
I mean, but then again, like I told you this yesterday, AJ Styles, I think he's the best wrestler in the world. I mean, obviously he's the WWE champion. That's the top prize in the game.
Well,
that's the top championship in the world.
I don't know.
I mean, we can get to that.
we can deliberate the IWGP Heavyweight Championship versus the WWE Championship.
We're gonna get into that in a little bit. But I look at it like AJ, he's the best wrestler with or without that World Heavyweight strap. I look at it like it's AJ Styles. The hardcore fans, the smart marks, the marks or whatever, they knew AJ Styles. The casual fan, they didn't know AJ Styles. All right, he comes over to WWE, became an even bigger star than he already was. The same goes for Balor. All right.
Well, the thing about Balor is I haven't kept up with his career in a couple.
It's been kind of rocky.
Yeah,
I mean,
because he was the first Universal Champion. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, for like a day.
Speak of that championship.
that red leather nightmare.
That red piece of gold. You're gonna put it on him, damn it. Fucking Vince, dude.
And just FYI, me and Philip were talking about this. We want to be in the Vince McMahon boardroom meeting.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
I would love to be in a Vince McMahon boardroom meeting.
Kenny Omega, huh? You're gonna job to Curtis Axel tonight. Could you imagine?
I could actually imagine that.
I'm gonna bring back Santino.
Oh god! You're gonna take the gold. See, that's the thing. I don't want WWE have a clear path for.
I look at it like this, AJ. If you've heard the backstage story, when he first By the way, WWE they messed up on this so much. They had the camera on Roman's sweaty face.
Oh yeah, I remember
It
that.
should have been on the Tron, and I am
phenomenal.
Look, dude, I was like, is he gonna go? Is he gonna go? I didn't know, but when I saw him, I popped still, and Vince immediate reaction. He leaned over to Brian James, Road Dogg, and
Road
Hunter,
Dogg,
like,
yeah.
They know who he is.
Yeah, I mean, because it was Orlando. He wrestled for TNA for years over there.
Yep.
And like all the hardcore fans, they knew who AJ Styles
Yeah.
was. And the great thing, I have to say, I don't know who made the decision. They didn't make him go to NXT.
No.
Straight to the main roster.
He was too big for NXT.
Yeah.
You could say the same for Joe, but Joe and Nakamura being in NXT, it helped raise the value of that brand.
And to think about it, all the stars that WWE has, they all came from places like ROH. And came from TNA, New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yep.
Yeah, so I see your argument that if you want to be a huge megastar, you have to come to WWE. I see that
Everybody
argument.
does it. Like Sting. Like you're talking about Kenny being the guy who never went over. We thought Sting was never going to go over. All right, WCW died. He took a little break, went over to TNA,
And mismatches him. I can't pronounce
I
right
don't know.
now.
He had some good moments in TNA when he I forget. I think this was like 2009. It was a fatal 4-way. It was Sting.
Oh, I
It was
remember that
Sting,
match.
Angle, Matt Morgan, and AJ Styles.
I'm sorry, Matt Morgan. I love you, bro.
Yeah. So yeah, Sting dives. He looks at AJ and he nods at him. Then he dives off the apron and handles Matt Morgan. AJ's looking around, does a 450 on Angle. 1, 2, 3, wins the TNA heavyweight title, and everybody's like, "Yeah, he's finally the guy here," you know.
Yeah.
And Sting doing that stuff for guys or whatever.
And can I just harbor this point,
Yeah.
Podfather, if you let me? TNA, are they still in existence?
Yeah. In fact,
Okay.
wrestling still exists.
Okay, so that wrestling promotion has mismanaged some of the hottest stars in the business. That WWE made them superstars.
Yeah.
You know, Joe in his entirety there, he was there since 2005, only champ once. Can you believe that?
It's very true.
AJ Styles, how many times he was TNA champion? Like twice, right?
More than that.
Yeah.
Like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Dude.
And the thing is,
Then TNA also, I mean, this isn't even about TNA.
I know.
Talk about them another time.
Yeah, and I just want to say that TNA. I don't know what y'all doing, but you gotta get your
Dixie Carter.
Yeah. Oh God, don't. No, actually, we're gonna pass by TNA because I don't want to. No, not Dixie
Yeah.
Carter. No. Okay, so
We're talking about, New Japan coming over to the States. That's a huge move for them. Their Long Beach show, the first one, it was a success.
how many people were at that show?
I don't remember, but the venue, the walls were bare. There were camera angle problems. Like, that's what WWE does so well that people can't complain about production.
No, Kevin Dunn, as you know, if you don't know, Kevin Dunn is the main production guy over there in WWE.
The Bucktooth Warrior.
Yes, the Bucktooth Warrior. Jim Cornette's favorite person in the whole world.
James E. Cornette. Couldn't draw a dime.
He does an excellent job with the production in WWE.
Oh,
I
yes.
can't complain about that. That's one of the things I like
The
about
cinematics
WWE.
are amazing. Like, the
Yeah.
House of Horrors match, it was trash. The cinematics were phenomenal. I was there. Never forget.
I bet you want to
People are talking about being there for the 49ers on a pole match.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Let me tell you, brother.
Oh God! Don't bring his name up. And if you don't know, it's his first name is Vince, last name Russo. Just never bring him up on this show.
Oh, God. The only Vince I can't stand.
Oh God! But I just want to close with this. I don't know how much time we have. Do we have enough time,
We can
Podfather?
keep going, bro.
All right, cool. I just want to.
We got to talk about that IWGP title. We can keep going.
I need to go in that conversation. How the IWGP Heavyweight title, the most prestigious title in professional
All right,
wrestling.
let's talk their U.S. expansion first
Okay.
before we get there. So
Yeah, no, I just wanna finish with this. Their U.S. expansion.
They created a U.S. title for it.
They created the U.S. title for it, and the stars that they have, I believe they could have a strong foothold here in the United States. They already done tours in Australia. They already done tours in Thailand. But I believe a strong stance over here with a good network. I know they can't do USA, they can't do Fox, but like a good network that gives them the shot, they could do great things over here for the sport of professional wrestling. So WWE can have a little bit of competition, and it'll be better for both brands because with a little competition, as you saw with WCW, brings the
WCW.
best. the wrestling. It could bring out the best in both companies. Do you agree with me, Phil?
I mean, competition is always good, and because I mean, when Vince has competition, a fire gets lit under his ass. We saw it back in the Attitude Era, and people are always gonna make the, oh man, that was 20 plus years ago. Blah 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 blah. I look at it like this: Vince had competition. Eric Bischoff beat him 83 weeks in a row. Go check out the 83 Weeks podcast. Eric Bischoff and Conrad Thompson. I look at it like this: Vince had competition. He sat his locker room down and said, we need to step the F up.
Mm-hmm.
We need to go out there and prove to these people that we can go. And Hunter does that with, if you watch Breaking Ground on the WWE Network, there was one scene where Hunter was talking to the wrestlers in NXT. I think it was not Charlotte, maybe Sasha and Bailey and Corbin, all those guys there at the time. And Hunter, at the end of his speech, he was like, let them know who the fuck you are. You know? So I look at it like that. When there's competition, wrestling is going to be amazing.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
It's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, and that's what I want.
But Vince buys out his competition.
That's the thing that I'm nervous about. I'm nervous about if New Japan compete with WWE.
No, I look at it like today, like even TNA tried to compete and they haven't bought them. I want them. I wanted the tape library for obvious reasons to go back and watch some of the classics. But I look at it like this, like, there are alternatives. Ring of Honor, alternative. New Japan, TNA, Rev Pro, Progress, PWG, alternatives. Okay? They're not competition. They're not WCW having a show the same night and beating them in the ratings. They're not doing that.
Yeah.
That's not happening right now. Plus, like, New Japan, if they want to be a serious competitor, they need a serious TV deal.
Yes.
With week-to-week.
Yes. Week-to-week coverage. Because they do shows. Like, I know you're...
like, the stuff on Axis happened months ago.
Yeah. They do shows on Axis, but it's like you said, it's months ago. And the shows that they do, it's like once, like, every 2 weeks. Or once a month. Because after the G1, there's a huge stretch, about a month of break for the wrestlers.
WWE doesn't have a month of break.
I know. I know they don't have a month of break, and they're champions for that. But I agree with your point. I believe New Japan can do a stronghold here in the U.S. if they have a weekly episodic, not even weekly, every 2 weeks they have something like an hour or 2 hour show with wrestling. With only wrestling and not corny storylines like sometimes WWE gives out. Because there's some storylines that just do not work in WWE television. They do a strong product here with strong style wrestling from New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I feel like they could actually survive here in the market. I know there's not a huge market for professional wrestling here in the States, but I believe they could be a serious threat if they have the financial backing and they have a great television deal to WWE.
I believe it. I mean, so yeah, they need to fix a lot of those things, and everything should be cool.
Yeah,
it should get better. Like I was saying with the Long Beach show, the first one, the walls looked bare, the production just wasn't good. The second one, it improved. It did improve. But I think the main topic right now is that championship. Is it really a world title?
I believe it is. Because it actually is defending in different promotions. Not like the WWE title. Yes, it is.
I was watching a lot of AJ Styles stuff when he was the IWGP champ. The title wasn't on the line.
Yes. No. I know it wasn't on the line like sometimes ROH, but if you go in Japanese wrestling, it was on the line.
No, I'm talking about
wrestling,
like when he was like wrestling at Rev Pro in the UK and all these other, it wasn't on the line.
Yeah, I know it wasn't on the line.
But you've seen it ROH. Honor champion.
Yeah, but no. But you've seen it ROH. War of the Worlds 2014. Wasn't the IWGP title on the line?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that was. But I'm looking at it like this, like in basketball and the whole sport, all right? And I'm sorry, I was distracted. All right, look, basketball, the whole sport. What's the number one prize in basketball? That NBA championship. And football, whether it's rugby or American football or whatever, what's the top prize? The Super Bowl.
Yeah.
In professional wrestling, what's the top prize?
The IWGP Heavyweight Championship.
You're stupid. Look, to be number one, you have to win that. It's like people will say like, "Oh man, I think so and so's the best basketball player." Well, hey, bro, Steph Curry, he won the MVP. He's the best basketball player in the world. I'm sorry, it's just like that. I mean, the WWE Championship.
It has a lineage.
It has an amazing lineage. It's the number one title in the world. It's the
look.
I look at it like this: if you're not in this business to be WWE champion, then why are you here?
Yeah.
It's like that. The IWGP Championship. I respect. Do I respect the championship?
Do you respect it? Because there is
Kurt
a matter.
Angle, Brock Lesnar, Styles,
Naito, Okada.
My bias. When Cody wins it, oh my God, I'll sing praises for it. But I mean, I look at it like this: the Ring of Honor Championship defended in more places than the IWGP. All right, could that be the true second-tier world championship? Yeah, because I'm not counting the Universal title. That's a championship of the universe.
For the record,
and plus, like the WWE title, it's defended numerous days of all year round, like on house shows or whatever. Because like Raw and SmackDown, that's television, and then you got like Friday, Saturday, and whenever the pay-per-view is on Sunday, that's like 3 days of title defenses. That's why Punk's title defenses for that last reign were like 141. All those house shows. All right, how many times did Okada defend the title?
12 times. It's because
I can tell you right now, my boy Jinder defended it more in a month.
See, that's the thing. It's like Jinder. I still don't understand why he was champion. Explain that to me, Podfather. Why was he champion?
I'm gonna look at it like this. Jinder Mahal was a guy. He was a Joe Bear. He was a jobber. He left. Was not in a good place. He came back.
And Vince saw him and he saw his muscles and he said, "Ooh, this guy is going places."
Yep. And he had honestly, if you really listen to some of the interviews he's given, he was working house show circuits with Big Show, and Show's like, "All right, you're gonna slam me tonight. You're gonna have an Andre Hogan type moment." And Vince, like, he saw them working with each other. They're like, oh wow. And I'm like, Jinder, is he the best wrestler? No, absolutely not. He's not the best wrestler. But he was a guy. I mean, he got pushed into the main event slot way too soon. I will admit that. But he was a guy given an opportunity.
He couldn't even have a great match with AJ Styles. And if you can't have a good match,
he had a great match with AJ Styles.
Wait. Was it the Survivor Series one?
It wasn't Survivor Series. It was leading up to Survivor Series when he dropped the title to him.
Before the Brock and AJ match.
Yeah, that match was great. Like towards the end of the run, I'm not saying that because Jinder lost the title. I'm saying like he started to look like a menacing force. And I mean, I look at it like this, man. They went to India before Jinder was ever there. Mm-hmm. They've gone to India while he was there both times, and they're gonna go to India when he leaves. Like,
so the only
and
thing.
plus, like, if it was really because he was Indian, my guy, he wouldn't have jobbed to Hunter. Like, come on.
Okay, I see your point. I understand your point. It's just that I feel like WWE has used.
And plus, there have been worse world champions than Jinder Mahal.
Great Khali.
Great Khali is a disgusting piece of crap. God, he's disgusting.
No punches pulled here.
Great Khali, Psycho Sid. I mean, Big Papa Pump has been a world champion. Like, come on, guy. David Arquette, the cop from the Scream franchise, has been a world heavyweight champion. And my guys like Cesaro, and
that's a shame. That's a shame. But just to belabor your point, I feel like
Vince
sometimes
Russo's been world champion.
I feel. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Vince was actually world champion.
Both Vinces have been world champion.
Oh yeah. And just a different point, Vince was actually an ECW champion. Remember that?
No, he was WWE champion too.
Yeah.
I do remember the ECW run though.
Oh God. I just want to go. This is my main point here. The WWE title has sometimes, for the past couple of years, been treated as a prop. A thing that people hold just to hold it. I mean, I never got the Money in the Bank stipulation. Okay, so
how do you not understand?
I know, I understand
it.
I don't get it, but it's just for a few couple of pops, and
it's
then
not a few couple.
Yeah.
Don't ever say that around Jericho. He created the damn thing.
You know, I know. But with Edge, okay, let me give you an example. With Edge first cashed it in against John Cena, Elimination Chamber, 2006.
It was actually New Year's Revolution.
I'm sorry, before they renamed it Elimination Chamber, because New Year's Revolution was such a horrible name.
I kind of enjoyed it.
No, I was being sarcastic. When he cashed in the title, when he cashed in the Money in the Bank against John Cena, that was freaking brilliant. It created a story.
Well, yeah, because the whole thing with the Money in the Bank, like, putting it on Edge, that was smart. He was a heel at the time. He was probably the most hated man in wrestling due to his real-life affair with
Lita
and
that
Matt
whole
Hardy
triangle
thing.
thing.
The love triangle thing. And for him cashing in on John, that was the emphasis of the briefcase. Anytime, any place, anywhere.
But
That was the emphasis of the
But
championship.
ever since then,
You're talking about my favorite match here. Hold on. My favorite match stipulation of all time.
no, but the thing is that in New Japan, I feel like when I watch it, it's like a UFC fight or it's like a boxing match. When you actually have two people that think they're the best, they actually have to fight for a world championship. That means something because what they're fighting for. If you've seen some of the New Japan matches I've seen with Okada, when he was facing Minoru Suzuki, when he was facing Hiroshi Tanahashi, when he was facing Katsuyori Shibata, it made me feel like they're beating the hell out of each other because they truly believe that the IWGP Heavyweight Championship is something to behold. Means that you're the main man in the company. When I see two championships in the same company, and I see AJ Styles, and I see Brock Lesnar.
Okay, dude, look. Like I just said, the Universal title means nothing. Like,
but
it's gonna be
shouldn't the WWE title go to Raw then?
Honestly, I feel like there should be one
champion,
and that's my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
There should be one world champion, one set of tag titles, one women's championship, and they bounce around like it's the territory days.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Do you think?
Look, if the Big Gold, if that was around, I wouldn't have been so mad because that title has a lineage within itself, and then people. It was good when the Big Gold was around because
I love that Big Gold.
I love that.
Yeah.
People like the WWE titles, the world, the top title. Then no. What about the Big Gold? Look at the guys who held this. And then so that was always the feeling with it. The Universal title means absolutely nothing.
Yeah, but that's my point. My point is that the I can't even pronounce
IWGP.
it. IWGP Heavyweight Championship is the elite championship in all of pro wrestling because there is no gimmicks, there is no there's no shortcuts or anything to win the WWE title. It's just straight up man against man.
I mean, but dude, it's professional wrestling.
Yeah, I know.
There are gimmicks going to be involved.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't get me wrong. I like gimmicks when it's needed because there's a wrestler named Yanu Toru who does gimmicks all the time. But the thing is, when it's serious, when it's about a heavyweight championship, you don't see boxers when they're halfway through a fight, you see somebody cash in something or a contract and say, "Oh, I'm going to join the match now," and it dilutes the fight between two people. Like the thing with what happened on Money in the Bank. Did you already do a preview? A review
I've already
show?
done the recap of it. Yeah,
You know that match, Nia Jax versus Ronda Rousey.
that was amazing.
Yeah, and then out of nowhere, Alexa Bliss, because she had a briefcase, cashed it in.
Character work, bro.
Yeah, I know.
I understand wrestling. I get it, dude. I understand why that happened.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be better?
Alexa, she's a heel, and she's upset.
Yeah, I know. I know.
She got her championship taken, and 5 Feet of Fury, Little Miss Bliss, is now a 5-time women's champion, baby.
I understand that. But I feel that professional wrestling should be treated more as a sport than entertainment. That's my personal stance.
I mean,
on
it's
it.
treated like a sport every night with all these amazing athletic
But
feats
when you
that these
when you
guys are
ask
performing.
somebody that doesn't know about wrestling, they say it's fake. They
Look,
say it's
hey,
entertainment.
look, I'm gonna tell you this right now. If you think professional wrestling is fake, go to a local indie school. Go take a bump. Go slam yourself on some wood and see how fake it is.
But
Look,
okay.
I've been there.
Yeah.
It's not fake. It's as real as it comes.
that's-
It's still real to me.
Yeah, but that's your experience. If you tell somebody that doesn't know about wrestling, they'll say that Kevin Nash said this to me. I heard Kevin Nash. Can you bet on professional wrestling in Vegas?
People do. Unfortunately, people do that.
But why? It's not even it's not treated as a real sport. I feel, and many people I can imagine feel that New Japan exemplifies that. New Japan treats it as a sport that it is. People over there in Japanese culture, they sit down quietly and there's not a peep in the crowd because they're in awe of what they see. These two gladiators, these two warriors going at each other for something that they believe in. That's why I feel like wrestling should be a sport, and New Japan exemplifies that.
You could say that about. I mean, look at all the big money matches that have happened for the WWE Championship. All right, Hogan and Andre, Hogan and Savage, Hogan and Warrior.
But you're talking about
not even Savage and Flair. And then you want to move into modern day. We can talk Daniel Bryan finally reaching. Daniel Bryan said it himself. All right, I want to be the WWE champion because that means that I'm the best in the world. I'm the guy. CM Punk, that was his whole thing. I'm the WWE champion. I'm the best in the world.
But
I'm the top guy in this game.
But the thing is, you're talking
AJ
about
Styles has said it in interviews out of character. He said he felt so honored to hold the IWGP title. It would hold a special place in his heart, but he knows what's up. He knows what the top prize is.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're talking about isolated incidences and isolated people. To be honest, all those matches, all those people, they've done it. They already know what they need to, like, what my point is. My point is this. The WWE title needs to be holded in the highest regard. I feel that it's not because of all the gimmicks. And I know it's wrestling, but for me, like I said it before, professional wrestling should be a sport, not sports entertainment. Because when you take your kids out, when you go to a wrestling show, they don't call it sports entertainment. They call it professional wrestling. Vince, if he could change people's mind, he would say, "Oh, we're gonna go to that sports entertainment." What is sports entertainment? Just call it pro wrestling.
Sports entertainment.
Just call it pro wrestling because it's a sport,
dude. It's a different time, man.
I know. I'm getting off on a tangent here, but I'm just very passionate
I don't like
about
the gimmick name of sports entertainment. I don't like the gimmick name of superstar. But I look at it like this, man. I love wrestling.
Me too.
Right? I love it, but it's a different time. I wish we were in the Attitude Era right now. All right. I wish that The Rock could tell me to shut the F up to my face right now as we speak on TV.
Yeah.
But we're just in such a different time.
Yeah.
We're so PG, and it's.
I feel like
against
back
the whole thing
in the Attitude Era when men were actually men.
What?
Haven't you realized that in the Attitude Era, men were actually men, like people like Austin and Rock giving the bird, and men being men. I remember a couple years ago, I was watching as Stephanie McMahon emasculated half of that roster. Remember the Survivor Series, like if John Cena could bring them back and stuff like that. Remember that? And then he brought them back, and they said, "You're fired." And everybody, the balloons are falling. Everybody was standing and said, "I know it's entertainment," but I was like, "These are men. They're being emasculated by somebody who's not even a wrestler." It kind of got to me.
Are you saying that because she's a woman?
No. It's
all
because
the feminists are gonna get on the feed like,
this guy hates women. What is he doing? No, it's just my point of view is that wrestling should be treated as a sport. The only knock I don't like about New Japan, and this is a rarity.
You don't like something about
New
New Japan?
I don't like something about New Japan. There is no women's division, and that grinds me the wrong way. Yeah, you could boo because like you agree with me. Women are kick-ass in this sport.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I'm gonna touch on this real quick. I'm a red-blooded American male. Bikini contests and fulfill your fantasy matches and wet balloon contests. All that stuff is nice to look at, obviously, but I want to see women go out there and prove that hey, we can do this just as good or better than the guys.
Yeah.
All right. There are so many wrestling matches out there.
Yeah.
Sasha Banks and Bayley Takeover 2015. They're in my top 10 for that one.
Mm-hmm.
They're there. All right.
Yeah.
Like, if we're talking about some of my favorite wrestlers today, I think Charlotte's up there. She's in my top 5 probably.
Yeah.
Of wrestlers in the business today.
Yeah. So and I agree with you on that. That's something I don't like about New Japan. They don't have a women's division. And what's another thing I don't like about New Japan? God, they need to do better job on the English commentary side because of the Japanese side, like you said, like their problems with the production. When you hear Kevin Kelly call, they just cut to music, and it's kind of awkward for the viewer. It's just for two things for New Japan. I love New Japan, but two things. Oh, there's an awkward moment here. Sorry. Two things for New Japan. For me, one, get a women's division. Geto, if you're listening to this in Japan, get a women's division. And second, fix your audio problems for the English side. And number 3, really quickly, please get yourself a new junior tag team division because you need new people. That's it. Other than that, I freaking love New Japan. I think it's the best promotion in the world.
Once again, you're sadly mistaken. They're not out here getting billion. They're not out here getting $1 billion for TV deals, my guy.
Oh, and just quick, congratulations to WWE for doing that, for pulling that deal with Fox, $1 billion.
They got $1 billion for Raw, 2 on USA.
Good for them. Kudos to you, Vince.
WWE does great. Wrestling does great, man. I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you, man.
See, but
that shouldn't motivate all these other companies to, like, we can't just be on Fight TV. We need a real TV network.
yeah. But the only thing is that even after this discussion, it got kind of heated between me and Philip. But I still love Philip, the Podfather, and I think he loves me. I don't know if we're at that level yet of our friendship, but
Don't ever say you love me.
see, there you go. I knew he would say that.
I'll make you kiss my ass.
Okay.
I had to do a Vince kiss my ass. I had to.
Oh, and by the way, I like those skits. That's one of the reasons that kiss my ass skit he did with William Regal. I will never forget it as
did it
long
with
as I live.
everybody,
I know, but the one he actually did it. William Regal actually did it.
Do you want to join the kiss my ass? But you know what? Hit me up on hit up the Bulletcast at Bulletcast on Twitter or the Bulletcast on Instagram. Slide into those DMs. Let me know if I should start a kiss my ass club.
That
You know, if 10 people kiss my ass, I will never say another bad thing about New Japan again.
wow, you heard it here first, folks.
Ladies and gentlemen, at
Yeah.
Bulletcast on Twitter, at the Bulletcast on Instagram. Slide into the DMs. If you kiss my ass, I'll never say another bad thing about New Japan ever again. Ulysses, pucker up.
Oh my god!
up, brother.
Oh my god!
You're gonna kiss my ass. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we went 55 minutes. He's a little tired. He's not an hour man like ya boy. But we're gonna end it here, ladies and gentlemen. Bulletcast tomorrow.
Yeah, tune into the Bulletcast.
Tune into us tomorrow, guys. We're coming out here with some fire tomorrow. It's gonna be a good show.
I wish I could be there, but I have
Episode
work.
73.
You know.
I've been doing this for 73 weeks. I'm not stopping. You know, actually, I will stop. Episode 100 is the day of the Podfather was born. Wrestle Kingdom Day.
And Wrestle Kingdom
I'm gonna
Day.
retire episode 100. Don't forget.
I just want to say this. Congrats to Philip. Congrats to the Bullet class because the Bullet. I can't pronounce for some day.
Your articulation.
My articulation is horrible today. But congratulations to the Bullet cast because you've busted your ass to be here where you are today. And congratulations to you and congratulations to your crew. And I think somebody's talking over there, so I think that's our cue to.
Our cue to get out of.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're outside. You know. No, but thank you, man. That means a lot to me.
Yeah.
You know, people don't tell me how much they appreciate me.
No, but you are. You're a very great man, and your love of pro wrestling.
This man is a beauty.
Yeah.
I mean, guys, like when it comes to professional wrestling, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this.
Yeah, you are.
All right.
Yeah.
SummerSlam weekend 2017. I watched. Actually, that whole week from Monday to Sunday, I watched 66 hours and 82 minutes of
That's
wrestling.
dedication, ladies and gentlemen.
Nobody else is out here doing this.
Yeah.
I've seen wrestling in a lot of different venues. Cal Palace, American Airlines Center, Pensacola, Florida, their Civic Center. James Logan. I've seen wrestling all over the damn place.
Yep.
But I love it. I love professional
Yeah.
wrestling. I love this sport. I love
Yeah.
discussions. You know.
Yeah. And I want to say thank you for this.
problem, man.
Yeah. And thank you to our lovely ladies that are here accompanying
Yeah.
us today.
Remember how WCW used to have Nitro Girls?
Yeah, I remember those. Yeah.
They're a little too young for stuff
Yeah.
like that, but
Hopefully,
you know.
hopefully next discussion we have, it's a little bit, the thing we discussed yesterday.
I may have to be a big dog for
Yeah.
those types of discussions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna have to wrap it up. Thank you so much.
Peace.
Later, Marks.
This has been the Bulletcast. Thank you for listening.